With great power comes great responsibility. What is up, alienARMy? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And on this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about this little quote from Spider-Man. Now, I am not sure exactly where the fuck this thing originated from, but I did see it in the movie Spider-Man. So,
here we the fuck are.
When I'm talking about with great power comes great responsibility, I am referring to conducting yourself as a god on the 3D Earth matrix in the material realm plane. What do I mean? When you have great power as a god, as you are conducting yourself as a god, with that does come great responsibility, because when you are able to see through things.
Now we're moving into Superman. We went from Spider-Man to Superman.
Third house Mercury. Hey! With great power comes great responsibility, because if you want to think about Superman or Spider-Man or whoever the fuck you want to think of, Aquaman, whoever the fuck you want to think about that has great power, who is conducting themselves as a god on Earth, you are able to see into different dimensions and different timelines. You might be in front of someone and you can see right through them. Let's just think of it as X-ray vision and similar to Superman fashion. So we graduated from Spider-Man to Superman. I don't know where we're going, but here we is. You are able to read a situation, when you are able to read an individual, when you are able to walk into some place and read the room, quote unquote, you now are observing things from a greater perspective, which in essence is bestowing great power upon you. A perfect example of this is when you are in a 5D and above perspective, you are going to start seeing through everyone and everything. I shit you not, okay? I shit you not, you could be standing in front of a motherfucker and they'll tell you something, but you'll know that they actually mean something else, or there's something a little twisted in what they're saying, or you'll know that the meaning might be a little deeper than what the individual is portraying. You might walk into a particular room, let's say at a party or a gathering of coworkers, and you are just able to immediately sense the vibe of how the energy is in the room. You can sense the energy of events that have yet to happen on the 3D Earth matrix plane. When you are being able to see through, like X-ray vision, through situations, circumstances, different people, what you have to know about conducting yourself as a god on Earth is knowing when to say something and when to stay quiet. So let's say you're having a conversation with person A, and you know that they are giving you something, but they really have something else going on within them, right? So it's like you are seeing through the facade and you know that they are lying about whatever, or you can perhaps pick up that they are hiding something or telling a half-truth, or whatever the case may be. And this doesn't have to necessarily be something negative. If someone is giving a half-truth, there could be a beneficial or a positive meaning behind that as well. So don't be all discombobulated thinking that you're gonna see things that you're gonna perceive to be detrimental if you're able to read a room or read a person. No, it ain't like that. You're gonna be able to pick up on the undercurrent of what exactly is going on underneath the facade. They're telling you, like example, you offer someone a piece of chocolate cake and they take the chocolate cake and they're biting into it and they're like, I love this. Everything on the outside, they seem like they're enjoying it. They're shoveling fucking spoonfuls of chocolate cake into their mouth, whatever the fuck they're doing on the outside, but you are picking up that they really hate chocolate motherfucking cake. What you, in that moment, with that great power comes great responsibility. Ideally, conducting yourself as a god, you do not question them saying, I know you really don't like that chocolate cake, let me offer you some vanilla, or whatever the fuck. You allow that individual to play the role that they are playing within their own reality, even though you see through it. And here's where the responsibility comes in with the power, because you have the power of knowing when it will behoove you to you mention something that someone is not saying, or when it would behoove you to let it play out and unfold organically. And you, being a God, you will know, let's say remember we're talking about person A, they're pretending they're loving that chocolate cake, they're all gobbling that shit, but at the same party you offer motherfucker B a piece of chocolate cake, and they're doing the same thing. They're like, oh, let me just pretend like I like this chocolate cake when I really don't. And you are going to have the discernment. Remember, these are light examples, so if they sound corny, I don't give a fuck, even though we don't do triggers here, but I'm just saying, okay? Light example, chocolate cake.
I don't know who don't like chocolate cake, by the way, but yeah, I'm just saying.
Motherfucker A pretended to like the chocolate cake, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm picking up that they really don't like the chocolate cake, but I'm gonna say nothing. Whereas motherfucker B, they're pretending, they're feigning to like the chocolate cake, but let's say you share a glance with them and you look at them in the eye, and then you are able to sense, you are able to discern, you are able to pick up, listen bro, I know you don't like that chocolate cake, it's okay, you're not gonna offend me, I'll take that back, I'll get you some vanilla, whatever the fuck it is. There is, number one, the first thing is you picked up that both of these individuals were telling you something that was not true. You sensed the energy, you as a God, but you as a God also had the discernment. You know what, let me let motherfucker A ride it out, play the part, so to speak, about pretending they like the chocolate cake and they really fucking don't. But you also as a God, conducting yourself as a God, you sense that motherfucker B needs to hear you say, listen bruh, I know this cake ain't for you, let me take that away. Next time I ain't even gonna offer you a chocolate cake, I'm gonna just go right for the vanilla. And that is what I mean when I'm saying with great power comes great responsibility. The power is knowing when you are being attempted to being convinced something. That was really weird grammar, but roll with it. When someone is attempting to convince you of something and you know that it is a half-truth, or it is a white lie, or it's just whatever the fuck it is. It might be some outrageous thing, but you know as a God also when to speak on it or act on it, and when to let it ride out by itself. That is when you are conducting yourself as God. You understand the discernment. This can go for any situation in your life, because I will tell you, when you are actually walking around inside your 3D vessel from the oversoul perspective, and you're just reading between the lines, you're seeing through motherfuckers like fucking X-ray vision, like fucking Superman, that shit, you have to, I mean, you are going to be prepared for it, but there still are times when you might be like, whoa, because it's like there are no secrets, which is, we're going to branch a little bit off into this, like 5D and those dimensions, like 5D, 6D, those ethereal energetic beings, that level of consciousness, there are no motherfucking secrets. Victoria's Secret not exist, okay? Victoria out in the motherfucking open, ain't no lingerie. Motherfuckers is ass fucking naked. That's what I'm talking about. So you have to know, you could intend, I want to be as a God, I want to read people's minds and whatever. Fun little story, just a little branch off a little bit. Since I was, before I could remember, probably always since I could remember, lost in this 3D vessel, I always wanted to have the ability to read motherfuckers' minds. That was my thing. If you've ever played a game like, oh, what superpower would you like to have? Which, I mean, superpowers are real, number one. They're not, I mean, they are superpowers, but they're not fantasy. You can actually attain them. Either which way, you know, you'll hear someone say something stereotyped. Which superpower do you want to have? Do you want to be able to fly? Would you like to be able to read minds? Would you like to this? Would you like to that? My thing was always read motherfuckers' minds. That is what I do. And it might be literally reading someone's mind. You might look at them and their mouth might be moving like this, but you're like, oh, but they're really saying something else, which doesn't correspond with what the fuck is being regurgitated outward. You're like, oh. But you conducting yourself as a God on earth, you understand that sometimes it's better just to let shit play out, leave it alone. There's also the discernment of saying something like, I know you lying, motherfucker. So that is is where we have the restraint, the self-control of the ego, because the ego, when you are easily reading through situations or a specific individual or individuals or whoever, and you know that someone is hiding something, or they're full of shit, or they're pretending to really like something but they really don't, there is that restraint to be like, wow, I see this. It might be jarring if your ego is still having a little semblance of wanting to control the situation, because there are things, as I said, my wishes come true. My dreams are fulfilled every motherfucking day. I will tell you that, as I'm sure many of you are, but do know that wishes and dreams are fulfilled every day in every way, okay? But since that was my thing, I'm gonna read minds, I'm gonna just like walk around, and it's everyone is fucking ass naked in their mind, in their fucking energy, in their body, right? Everyone to me is just butt ass naked, because I see through them. I see this, I see through that, but there are times that I'm like, oh, I can't even say anything. Like, I could, like, technically I could say something, but my oversoul, my soul, my higher self, however you want to look at it, would be like, let it play out, and you will be able to discern which moments, like we said with the chocolate cake at the party, there's some instances where you're like, you know what, this motherfucker needs to have that experience of me not saying anything to them in the moment, or you understand that maybe this motherfucker needs to have that experience of you saying whatever you have to say to them in the moment if they are discombobulated in what you are knowing their energy is versus what they are projecting outwards. So that's just what I want to talk about today a little bit. If you want to be able to read minds and see through shit like Superman, be prepared to leave your ego at the door, because there are going to be instances that you might be like, whoa, I didn't know all that was going on, but you also know when to leave it alone. I am Oculus, the alien next door. Thank you for joining me on this lovely stroll today. We will chit chat again soon.